Commentary screen reader, or the Chinese screen reader, has gotten really popular among blinds and visually impaired recently. And here, on the Blind Android Users podcast, we will have a series of episodes in which we will talk about how to use the screen reader and how to get the best out of it. Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of CSR's Basics. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about 3 key features. 2 of them are pretty new. Well, most of them are new. One of them is a updated one that got some new features and new changes that I think are pretty useful. So let's get right into it because we want to keep this as short as possible. So the first feature we're going to be talking about is the selection menu. So the selection menu we've talked about before, and when we were talking about the granular editing mode and the copy and paste features and all that, which was pretty cool. But I remember in this episode about a year and a half ago, or even more, I was talking about the fact that I really wanted it to include more features, which means this selection menu only had word-by-word mode. So you could only use word-by-word mode. But right now, we have words, paragraphs, and even sentences, which is awesome on so many levels. However, I have to point out that this feature is only available for premium users, which means if you have the free version of the app, you'd be able to use it, but with only the word-by-word mode. But if you are a free user, a premium user, you could actually use all these features. They're definitely available to you without any problems. But of course, if you're a free user, you can have a way around it and you can figure it out by using the granular editing mode and the navigation by elements, like navigation elements, the rotor. As well known as the rotor. And if you want more info on how you can do that, you can check out our second or third episode on copying and pasting and all that. We went over this in more details, of course. Now let's demonstrate what I mean and see how it looks like. So for instance,
standard navigate up button.
I am in the voice recorder app by Samsung. Now
Standard navigate up button. Stand 2 minutes. To standard navigate up button.
This has 2 words like navigate up. How we can go to the selection menu. Let's refresh our memory. We open the function menu by up and right.
Function menu.
Swiping up and right. And then we find
function clear. Select.
Keep in mind, you can also set a gesture to it if you'd like.
Granular selection mode.
Now it's called granular selection mode. Now, note, we have
cancel button.
Select all button.
Copy button.
Copy.
Export button.
This is a new button.
Sentences button.
Word by word.
Characters button.
Paragraphs
button. Up unchecked.
And
navigate unchecked.
Navigate up. Those are the check boxes. Those are like the words as check boxes, basically. Now, before we didn't have
cancel button.
This cancel button, and I'll see. I'll let you know why we have it in a minute.
Select all button. Copy button. Export button.
We didn't have this export as well. So let's say we want to copy only navigate.
Navigate unchecked.
Just click on it.
Checked.
It's checked. Now, if we hit copy,
Grant cancel. Select all but copy button. Copied.
it says copied,
Select all button.
but it didn't get us out of that menu, right? So if we want to get out of this granular selection mode, as the case with most of the screen reader's dialogues, we can just hit the
Cancel button.
and it'll get us out of here. However, you can also use
Select top paragraphs button.
paragraphs,
Navigate up unchecked.
and it's now like the whole sentence is here, like, because it's not a long text. I don't have long text in front of me, but of course you can do that with like a longer text and just, filter out what you don't want and all that, and just
Checked.
hit that. The export button as well is if you want to export a little piece of a text into a text file, which is cool in so many levels as well. I love this feature, and I'm glad that the developer seems to listen to our feedback, and I'm really happy with that change, of course.
Cancel button.
Okay, we'll get out of here. Now, I'm going to talk about a new awesome update in the TTS that got pushed out, which was awesome. So I know on iOS you have a feature called speech on, speech off, which I think you do with double tap with three fingers. And this feature, it only turns speech off, leaving the sound feedback on if you have it turned on right in the settings, and the gestures all work but the speech, which is awesome. And we've been asking for that feature forever, like for years now, I remember. And I'm glad that the developer seems to actually listen to users' feedback, because it's such a crucial part of being a developer. How can we access that feature to turn speech off, leaving sound feedback on? Basically, what you can do is open the main menu.
Main menu.
Swipe down.
Main menu.
Swipe down again.
Main menu.
And then we need to scroll to the end of the menu.
Disable main TTS engine.
Disable main TTS engine. And I actually will let you know how to assign a gesture for it. It's basically like you assign any gesture, but I did assign a gesture for it, which is awesome because I use it all the time. However, you have to keep in mind that it does not work with notifications, and I don't know if this is a bug or something that we need to do about it, because I kind of turned it off for notifications though. However, you have a little bit of a solution here.
Disable secondary TTS engine.
You can also disable secondary TTS engine if you have that turned on. I don't personally.
Change input method. Increase screen rate, increase speed, decrease speed, read all notifications.
Read all notifications. So this is something I've been looking for a long time as well, because I didn't want to go to the settings and disable it and then go back and re-enable it. It was just such a pain. But now you can assign a gesture to it, or either go to the menu and disable it and enable it again, which is cool.
WhatsApp 3200.
Now let's try to actually assign a gesture, or I will show you what I did with the main TTS and how I assigned a gesture for it.
Program settings.
G
operation setting. Feedback settings.
And
TT general settings. G setup wizard. TT read usage. Read the automatic invert swap. Use custom gesture scheme settings. Custom left and right gesture function. Monitor the currently focused element.
I assigned for it the triple tap with two fingers actually.
Right and up and down, left and down, right up and right, down it, single, double, triple tap with two fingers function. Disable main TTS engine.
Yep. So you can go here.
Triple tap, default on, no plugin, custom tools on, application on, function unchecked. Stop speech unchecked. Cancel button. Triple tap with two fingers.
Pick the function.
Function unchecked.
And assign it for it.
Stop cancel button. Custom.
So I'm going to do triple tap with two fingers, and let's see. It made a little sound here. I'm swiping right now. it's not saying anything. So let's do triple tap with 2 fingers again.
Camera.
And it's back.
Contacts.
So that's basically how you do it. I like it. It's awesome. It's so good if you want to just shut the screen reader up for a minute while we record a message or whatever. It's amazing. Now, we're going to talk about 2 things that are related. They have the same title, actually. One of them we've seen when I was browsing the settings. It's called
More button. Main menu. More button. Main menu. Earpiece mode.
Earpiece mode. And I think it's better as called to be called as like a whisper mode. Basically, this gets the screen reader out of the it gets the screen out of like the speaker, not the speaker, but like when the earpiece, that you take your calls with. So, which is cool if you want the screen reader to be low for you to hear it yourself. If you're like in a crowd or like in a packed area and you cannot like hear the screen reader from the speakers, and you don't want to like to hold it in a weird way, or you don't have like your earbuds with you or anything like that, you can definitely use this earpiece mode. Now,
cancel button.
The reason I said that there's another option that's related to it, because in the content reading settings,
main menu, extension, program
settings,
custom, back button, G-Show
get out
plus,
of
back
here.
reading settings.
The reading settings, we have a new dialogue.
Reading settings.
That got added in the new October 15th update.
Label reading, dynamic content, intelligent, screen state read, earpiece mode settings.
It's called earpiece mode settings.
Earpiece mode, read the caller's ID checkbox unchecked, controls whether the caller's name and number are being read automatically on an incoming call.
So this one is like, it's been there for a long time, but it was like in a different, place, and I think it was actually in the TTS settings before. Now it's moved in here. I think it's more logical. I have it disabled because we're going to find out in a minute why I have it disabled.
Read number of calls 5.
Read number of calls 5. It's actually mistranslated. It means the number of times the screen reader has to announce the caller ID, and that's why I had it disabled, the read the caller ID formerly. Still haven't turned it back on again because it already announces the caller ID once, and I don't need it more than that. But this is awesome because the screen reader, once I got a call before this update, and if I had this
read the caller's ID checkbox unchecked, control.
If I had this on, it would literally read the caller's ID and the number countless times. It's so chatty, especially if I was in a meeting or something, and even if my phone was on silent mode or whatever, it was so annoying. So that's why I disabled it. But now it's more, they can control it more. They can have a little bit of a control over it by
read number of calls 5.
Picking how many times you want the screen reader to announce the caller ID, which is awesome.
Use ringtone volume for speaking checkbox unchecked, controls whether the ringtone volume should be used for reading the incoming call screen.
This one as well is still in DTTS settings. It's also in here, which is more logical. Now, the reason I have it disabled because in this update, it got a little bit buggy and messed up to the point where whenever I got a call, whether I declined that call or picked it up, and then after that, when I end the call or when I decline the call, the screen reader would still be on the ringtone volume control, which was annoying to me. I didn't want that to happen. So I just disabled it. However, people on the Telegram for the screen reader have reported that to the developer, and he actually said that it's going to be fixed in the next update, which is awesome news. I can't wait for it. I have it now disabled because yesterday it got to a point where, so basically whenever that happened, I had to go to earpiece settings, just like where we are right now, and
use ringtone volume for speaking checkbox unchecked, control.
Basically I had to disable it and enable it. But yesterday when I went here and disabled it, the screen reader still didn't go back to the normal accessibility volume control, and I had to restart my phone. So it was just a little bit of a pain to me, because it's like when the screen reader is same volume as the ringtone, of course it's pretty loud, and you cannot turn it like down unless you have to like go to the volume controls, and it's just so annoying.
Speak up. Duration of the finished phone call checkbox checked controls whether the duration of the call is automatically read when the call is finished. This function requires the permission to read call logs. Telegram 91 new messages.
So this is actually explained, like self-explanatory. I love this feature because I always want to know like how much time I spent in the call, and I forget to like go to the call log of the history, but it just tells me right away. I just love it. It's awesome. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this episode and it was useful. I'm sorry for any background noises. It's a little bit out of my hand right now, but I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we're close to our 100 episodes, so I'm really happy for that, and I hope you all join us in our celebration in our 100 episode next Saturday, November the 5th, and thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you do actually have any questions, do feel free to reach out to me or to the whole podcast at contact us at blindandroidusers.com, and I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.